It's hot and things are getting a little wild. Welcome to July in the garden. Hi, I'm Amanda. Welcome back to the Provident Gardener. Today, I'm going to take you on a tour of what my garden looks like at the end of July. I'm going to show you what's doing well, what's going a little crazy, and what maybe isn't doing so well. First, we're going to start with the star of this year's garden, and that is our peppers. They have been going just absolutely crazy this year, and I couldn't be happier. We have 2 beds full of peppers, and they are thriving. We have as hot as cayennes and serranos down to your typical bell peppers, and my personal favorite are the lunchbox peppers. The plants are full, and I can tell they're getting ready to ripen. The surprise of my pepper plants this year has been the Carmen. One of them has already ripened and we tasted it. It has got to be the sweetest pepper I have ever tasted. A surprise pepper we have this year is actually this pale yellow. It's called a Santa Fe Grande. I thought these would be jalapenos, and when they grew and were this color, I was like, huh. So I wanted to try it to see how similar it was to a jalapeno. It is really hot. It's always fun to see what surprises you get in the garden. Sometimes you plant something thinking it might be this and it ends up being that. Now, I always love a garden with a good trellis. We have 4 arches here, and starting at the beginning, we have melons, mini and small sugar pumpkins. We have our winter squash, butternut and spaghetti, and then finally a few different varieties of cucumbers. Some things have gotten off to a slower start. Some things are doing excellent, but I love this time of year seeing those arches fill up. It really just brings this great beauty to the garden and makes it exciting. Now, from last month's garden tour, you may remember me talking about the Mexican sour gherkin. I've been trying to grow it for a few years now, and it keeps dying before I can get it to really get going in the garden. In June, it was doing great, and now it's doing even better. It's thriving, it's growing nice and tall and filling out this arch. And I even can see a few little ones really starting to grow. I can't wait for this to continue to grow and thrive, and for these little Mexican sour gherkins to become ripe, and I get to harvest them and finally taste them after trying to grow them for a few years. Now, I love to take advantage of every inch of my garden space because I don't have as much as I would like to, but sometimes I get a little overzealous. I love to put vining plants on the edges of my beds and let them spill out into the aisles. Well, we've got a lot of spillage this year. I can't even hardly get in between these 2 beds now, but I'm excited to have pumpkins. Now, we have close to 40 tomato plants in our garden. That is usually our biggest crop. We make and can homemade salsa, plain tomato sauce. It's a really essential part of our garden. And then all year, we eat the things that we are able to preserve from those tomato plants. But while they may look big and beautiful, I've been concerned about them. They're just not producing like I thought they were. But that also just goes to show that in the garden, not everything goes according to plan. And sometimes you just have to do trial and error, experiment, and try to figure things out. And some of our tomato plants are beautiful and tall and healthy, but they don't have a single tomato on them. I'm going to have to figure this out, do some research, and hopefully next year we can get a really great crop of tomatoes. Now, our zucchini this year is doing amazing. Surprisingly, I haven't found any squash bugs on my summer squash, my zucchini, my yellow squash. They've all been on my pumpkins and my winter squash. So what a blessing that for whatever reason, the squash bugs haven't wanted this, because we have been loving eating the zucchini right out of the garden. Oh, and look, we've got one right here that's ready. Might be a little big. I just found today's lunch. Something I have always dreamed of having in my garden is cut flowers. I just love when I can go to my garden, pick some flowers, and put them in my home to add beauty. I just think having a fresh vase of flowers sitting on the counter adds so much beauty and comfort to a home. And this year, I think I'm well on my way to having plenty. You can see my sunflowers are almost taller than me. My dahlias are growing, my zinnias, I've got a few starting to bloom. And then I have a few cosmos under here. They're getting kind of shaded though, so I'm not sure how they're going to do. But I can't wait to cut these flowers and put them in a jar and take them into my home. And here we have a huge patch of bush beans, and I can tell it is just about to explode with beans. One of my favorite things about bush beans is that they're pretty easy to grow. The one problem you might run into is as soon as those seedlings come up out of the ground, the bugs might get them. But luckily that didn't happen to me this year. I love picking these beans, eating them fresh, and then whatever I have left, I'll put in the freezer and we'll eat them all winter long. And now for some of the things that aren't going so well. I was really excited to try these grow bags this year. I think they're a great way to expand your garden when you don't have the space that you really want to have a big garden. These can go anywhere. They can go on a balcony, a patio, but I've struggled with them this year. Some of the reasons I think maybe they aren't doing so well, the number one reason, water. We don't have these hooked in with our drip system, and sometimes I just forget to water them. In fact, they probably need more water than your typical garden does because they've got all this space on the outside of them to heat up for the water to drain through these bags. These bags are permeable, and so the plants have suffered and they're not growing like I thought they would. But I'm not giving up. I want to keep trying them because I think this can be a really successful way to garden. One thing I think is important in the garden is to overplant. Plant more than you think you will need because inevitably some things die. I had 2 small sugar pumpkin plants here, and one of them, for some odd reason, just died. So now I have this one still, but if I had only planted one, maybe I wouldn't get any of those small sugar pumpkins. Now, we can't forget to mention the hardest workers in the garden. And no, as much as my kids think this is cool, it's not them. It's the bees and the butterflies and even the hummingbirds. All those pollinators coming to visit the garden, pollinating our plants, and helping everything to grow. I love coming out here in the mornings and seeing bees inside all the squash flowers. Sometimes we'll look out our window and we'll see hummingbirds over the arches. It is so exciting to see the pollinators out here because that means you know you're doing something right if what you're growing is attracting them. And lastly, we have these beds, and they just look kind of sad. My spring vegetables did so well in here. They grew beautifully, they were full. And these, like you can tell just by the color, they're not doing well. I think part of the problem is that in this container with this, I used potting soil, not garden soil. I think those spring vegetables sucked up all the nutrients. And I think I should have been giving these plants some more plant food. I've given them some recently. I'll give them some more soon, and we'll see if they make a recovery. So that's the garden in July. Things have really exploded in the last month, and they will continue to explode over the next month. Come back next month to see how much more the garden has progressed and grown. Thanks for joining me in my garden today. Let us know in the comments. How's your garden doing from July going into August? And if you want more real, practical garden content in your life, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on our journey. And don't be afraid to get a little dirt under your fingernails because you're going to turn that dirt into dinner to feed your family.